Hi folks, this is Chuck Mott with Chuck Mott Music, and I wanted to show you guys today just some things to be mindful of when you're connecting your Helix right into a mixing board with the idea to run right into directly into the front of the house. I have to kind of move my camera around today, so sorry about this whole handheld thing I've got going on. But I wanted to show you guys some things to be aware of when you're running your Helix right directly into a mixing board, and then from there, going to the front of the house or going to your mains. So right now, I want to show you, and excuse my mess, but I have a MG10XU right here. This is my mixing board. The red is my main power button. You guys that have this are probably already aware of this. We're not going to spend a lot of time here on this, but so here's my inputs. Now, I have a couple different options. I can go into mic input 1 here, right? And that has an extra gain stage in the middle, and that's just something you kind of want to be aware of, because if you're using your Helix live, it's going to interact with your volume knob. So if you have one or the other up too loud, you're going to get some clipping. So you need to really be mindful of adjusting the volume knob kind of in tandem with the gain channel over here, so the input going into the channel doesn't clip. And it doesn't take much to make it clip. And let me grab my trusty Strat here. See? And that's not even my main level down here. My gain is only a quarter of the way up. My main level is only about a quarter of the way up, but my Helix is about halfway up. So I kind of have to, in this case, I'm going to want to turn the Helix down a little bit and just kind of play with the two until you can kind of get to the point where you're not clipping anymore. That's going to probably do it about right around there. So short version, I'm going from my 1/4 inch out into input 1 here. I could just as easily use the XLR, but I'm going from the 1/4 inch out into my input here. But I have to be aware of the volume of my Helix and how it interacts with my gain staging over here, if I don't want it to clip. And in my case, clipping looks like, let me show you what it looks like in this channel here. I have a little little red light there that flashes on. You don't want that. So you want to kind of be mindful of the interaction between the volume knob on your Helix and the gain channel on your board. What I prefer to do, this is kind of my thinking, and you guys feel free to comment on it. If I am off base, feel free to let me know, but I don't believe I am. What I prefer to do is go right from the output of the Helix right into this line level thing here, and then you're just kind of there is no gain channel that you're interacting with, so all the volume is like going into the unit. It's completely dependent on the Helix. I like that because I like, when I'm on stage, I like to just be able to kneel down and tweak my volume knob to turn it up or down. I don't have to want to run over to the board or signal whoever's over there to the board, turn the guitar up a little bit. I can just kind of kneel down and run the volume from the Helix going into this thing. And in this case, I mean, I wouldn't see why you couldn't run the thing full out, and then you would have control over your volume, and you wouldn't have to worry about input clipping. You're not really hearing it, you're not seeing it, you're not hearing it. So I prefer to kind of go into one of these guys here on my Yamaha MG10XU. So could go into an XLR, into your XLR input here on channel 1 with the gain staging and stuff that you'd have to worry about here, and from the the monitor in relation to the level that you're sending from your Helix. Or you can just plug it into like 7 and 8 here, and then your volume you could run completely from your Helix if you wanted to do that, which is my preferred way of doing things, and it gives me a little bit more control. And that's just a practical tip here for you. So if you're trying to run your Helix right directly into the front of house, that's kind of some of the things that you want to be aware of. I like it. I've used it that way at a gig, and it turned out really well here for me, enough to think that I'm going to start possibly using that instead of my usual amp, which is my Deluxe 65 Deluxe Reverb, which is in need of repair right now. But yeah, I liked it. I liked that it was good. It was good for the mix. People in the front, it was a good mix going out to the front. It was a good mix coming back to us through the monitors. I could hear the guitar fine, nice and clean, and really kind of balanced with the vocals and stuff like that. It was very cool. And I think it makes the Helix, in my opinion, makes things easier mixing than having a loud amp behind you, right? And then and so yeah, that's about it. Because then you can kind of completely control your volume coming up on stage. It makes the stage mix nicer, and just yeah, and it sounds fine. It sounded really really good, and it almost seemed like my presets that I've got set up, once I put an amp sim in there, they were actually sounded really good, more kind of closer to what you'd call studio sound. That's what I got for you guys today. So yeah, if you want to run your Helix right to the front of the house, I'd encourage it. Just be mindful of those things that we talked about when hooking it up. And if you have any questions, or you like this video, feel free to subscribe. Feel free to like it. Feel free to comment one way or the other. And we'll talk to you guys soon. And thank you. Bye bye.